She's given quite a few talks in various conferences on various spiritual topics. And let me just introduce again, as usual, in the form of a small poem. So Meera Didi is the Malaysian spiritual ambassador. And on this ship of our life journey today, she's the crusader, ambassador and a crusader. As the ship captain, she's always there to guide so that we have a smooth, not lumpy, bumpy ride. So she's our guide on this ride. By keeping the Almighty always by her side, she indeed motivates all of us to keep our weaknesses aside. And a few lines on the auspicious occasion of Ganesh Chaturthi, particularly the last day today of what we call in India Visarjan. It is the sacred immersion of the Ganesha in the water. So on this auspicious day, she'll give us this beautiful sandesh. Sandesh in Hindi, in English, it means message. So she'll give us this beautiful sandesh of how to inculcate all the qualities of Sri Ganesh. So sandesh on how to become Sri Ganesh, of how to become a 16 celestial degrees deity by absorbing all the energy from the Almighty. So we indeed have come here to learn how to become a deity by absorbing all the energy from the Almighty, thereby trying to wash away all the traces of any leftover sin. In our constant fight with Ravan, let's have a mighty win. So let's wash away all our sin and over Ravan have a mighty win. So with this, I'll just try to also show you that you all can see the interpretations icon in front of you. You can click on that. The bottom panel interpretation is mentioned. You can click the language which you want to listen to in. And from now on till say around 1 hour, Didi will be giving the talk continuously. And then your questions, you can address it to me or the other co-hosts in different languages. And if the translators can please translate those questions in English and send it to me so that I can ask Didi. So that will happen after 45 minutes from now. So with this, I will just stop sharing the screen and over to Didi for the talk. Thank you, Didi.
We'll have the song.
Yes.
जिनकी आंखों में दीर्घ दृष्टि और दिव्यता हो भरी, जिनका गायन गुणों से हो वो ही तो
Om Shanti. A very good morning to all the brothers and sisters who have joined us to celebrate Ganesh Chaturthi today. So first of all, I would like to extend to all of you many, many greetings for the auspicious celebration of Ganesh Chaturthi. As Dr. Manoj was mentioning, this is the last day when Ganesh image will be immersed in the water, but still we are not too late to exchange congratulations for the celebration. And I think we all agree that India, Bharat, is the cradle for ancient civilization. It is in Bharat that if there are 365 days a year, we celebrate at least 364 festivals. Every day seems to be some festival because there is some importance given to every day of the week. And even if you look at the Indian calendar, all the festivals that are celebrated are organized in a very systematic way. And all the festivals that are celebrated has certain customs and systems that is being carried out, which enlightens the life of people who celebrate it. And so, over a period of time, as we continue to worship the gods and goddesses, we have forgotten the spiritual significance behind those images, the symbols that are given to them. And so we are just celebrating nowadays. It has become more commercial. It has become more like a social gathering. It is very important to understand the spiritual significance behind the customs and systems that is being celebrated during a particular festival, so that we can connect it with our practical life to empower ourselves, enlighten ourselves, and enrich our life. And so Ganesh Chaturthi is one of the most important festivals that is celebrated in India, especially in Maharashtra state. But I would say that it's not just Ganesh. Lord Ganesh is worshipped only on Ganesh Chaturthi day. I remember from my childhood days, Ganesh is worshipped even before any other gods and goddesses. We were always told by our parents and grandfathers, first you have to bow to Lord Ganesha and then go to Bholanatji, means Lord Shiva, to get his blessings. And even today, we see that, Ganesh is worshipped in two ways, one in the image form and the other in the symbolic form of swastika. Businessmen, before they begin any new business, they will always draw this swastika on their business or account book, invoking good luck, for whatever auspicious work they are going to start with. And so Lord Ganesha has been given importance every day in our human life. Even when you go into the cultural area, before the dancers perform any dance, they first of all invoke Lord Ganesha and receive his blessings. That is why I remember one shloka I was taught when I was small. They used to say, Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva, means if you worship Lord Ganesha before beginning any venture, you will always be successful. So today I'm going to share with you some spiritual significance behind all the symbols that is being shown to Lord Ganesha, and the history, how Lord Ganesha came into existence. So I would like to divide my talk into three parts. First of all, I would like to share with you the mythological stories behind this celebration. And secondly, the spiritual significance of the symbols. And thirdly, the lesson that we can take back with us as a homework to make our life, as Dr. Manoj was saying, all virtuous, completely viceless, like a deity. I think we all have heard about this story of Lord Ganesha. They say in the story that Lord Shiva had gone to do deep tapasya for a long period of time. And when he was away, Parvati was alone. And so she created Ganesh with her own dust of her body, and created the image of Lord Ganesh and asked him to stand outside the door and not allow anyone to come in. And so Lord Ganesha was very obedient to the mother. And so he was like a watchman guard watching. And suddenly Lord Shiva happened to arrive. But because he was a small child, he did not recognize who he was, but he followed the instructions of Parvati, his mother, and did not allow him to go inside. And Shiva got very angry and he chopped his head. So when Parvati came back, she was very sad. What he has done to my son. So then Lord Shiva promised her that he would replace his head with whichever person go across a first time in front of them. And it so happened an elephant was passing through, and so Lord Shiva chopped the head of the elephant and replaced it. And that is how you can see the elephant head of Lord Ganesha. And so that is one interesting story, that shows very clearly that Lord Ganesha had two births in one body. I will explain about that a little bit later. There is another interesting story connected with Ganesh Chaturthi. I was always fascinated by this. They say that you must not look at the moon on Ganesh Chaturthi, the fourth day of the moon. If you look into the moon, you will be cursed. And I was thinking about this story. It says that, Lord Ganesha was returning home after coming back from somewhere, riding on his vehicle, the mouse. And Ganesh had a big belly and big body, and then riding on this mouse, the fourth day moon, he was laughing at Lord Ganesha, how big he is, and then he's riding on this little mouse. And when Ganesh felt very insulted at the laughter of the moon, so he said, anyone who looks at the moon on this day, the fourth day, Chaturthi, they will be cursed. So that is how people are very scared to look at the moon on Ganesh Chaturthi, because they will feel that Lord Ganesha will curse them. So, of course, there are quite a few other stories. I will not go into much detail, whatever time we have limitation. And so this is how, Ganesh came into existence. So he is the son of Lord Shiva and Parvati. So actually, as Ganesh has several names, as was mentioned by Dr. Manoj, and each name that is given to Ganesh is very significant. First of all, we know that he's known as Vigneshwara, the obstacle destroyer. So that is why before beginning any task, Ganesh is worshipped so that all the obstacles are destroyed. Vigna Vinashak, Vigneshwar. Sometimes we also call him Vinayaka, which is the Lord of good luck. Ganesh is also called Gajanana, which means that he's the one with the elephant trunk. He is also called as Ganapati, the Lord of the Ganas. They worship in temple Navagraha, but before even that, Lord Ganesh is worshipped. Because when Lord Ganesh is pleased, all the Navagraha and the deities will be automatically pleased. And especially student life, he's also called Lord of Education, Vidyapati. So in order to get wisdom, education, knowledge, students seek to worship Lord Ganesha. I saw when I was in Thailand, it was very amazing for me. They donate, the students worship Lord Ganesha and donate Ganesha image before their exam, because they will feel that they will be blessed with education. And so he's also called, Vakratunda, means the one with the broken tusk. He's also called Gajanana, the one with the elephant trunk. And so Lambodara, which means the one with the big belly. So several names are given to Ganesha, which is very significant. Now, it is very interesting. On one hand, we talk about worship of Lord Ganesha as a deity. But many times the question comes, why they have chosen elephants? Why not any other animal or any other human being? Lord Shiva, he has the power. He could have replaced with any human head also. Why elephants? So actually, it has a very deep significance. Why Ganesha and elephant is connected. So first of all, I think why elephant head? Because I think, elephant is very royal. Elephant has its own majesty. They say that if elephant is walking on one side of the road, a dog is barking on the other side of the road, the elephant will not be affected by the barking of the dog. It will walk in its own majesty. It is elephant is royal in its own nature, and also it's wise and intelligent. Elephant is wise and intelligent and maintains stability, and it's able to confront any adverse situation. So the whole body of the elephant, that is why they say when an ant goes below the feet of the elephant, it will be crushed. But the only problem is when that same ant goes into the ears of the elephant may die. So there is also a spiritual significance, which I will let you know later. And the second thing is elephant trunk. What is the significance of showing Ganesh with the elephant trunk? Elephant trunk can do anything. from uploading the tree with the power of meditation, we can develop the power to uproot our negative traits, negative sanskaras, impure habits, weaknesses, obstacles in life. You know, the trunk has so much of strength, it can make impossible possible. So that means with wisdom and knowledge, we are able to make impossible possible, remove the negativities and bad habits from our life. Very interesting significance of elephant eye. Eyes of the elephant is very small comparing to the body of the elephant, but eyes are very, very sharp. Even if you throw a small needle in front of the elephant, elephant can pick it up and give it to you. Which means someone who is wise and sensible, they are always far-sighted. So their vision is far-sighted. They can see the three aspects of time. So they are able to make decisions on the basis of that. So their vision is not narrowed. They are broad-minded and far-reaching intellect they have. And of course, elephants' ears are very big. You know, if you look at the ears of the elephant, and if a blind person will touch the elephant ears, he can say it is like a fan. Ears are quite big. Actually, the huge ears of the elephant is very sensitive. It is telling us, listen to only good things and not unnecessary gossip. So that is why we are reminded of the slogan, hear no evil, you know. And you know why sometimes people ask why God gave one mouth and two ears. It is because it means that, you know, you have to enter and exit. Whatever you hear from one ear, remove it through the other. Don't listen to anything, useless things, so that it doesn't enter into my heart. And also, elephant stomach, you know, it is quite big. The belly of the elephant is very large. What it tells us, what it teaches us is actually we need to have the power to adjust, power to accommodate like ocean. So Ganesh is called obstacle destroyer because he was able to accommodate all the trouble. He's a troubleshooter. Ganesh is troubleshooter, you know, obstacle destroyer means troubleshooter. So he was able to swallow all the difficulties, all the troubles that devotees used to come and place in front of him without questioning. And that is why they say that his belly became so big. But in fact, what we learn from the elephant belly is actually to have a very big heart so that we are able to accommodate everything like ocean. So once we are able to have the power to accommodate, then only we can extend blessings and good wishes to others, which is very interesting. And you can see Ganesh, Lord Ganesh is shown with 4 hands, 4 arms. And each arm of Lord Ganesh is shown with some particular symbol. First of all, maybe in this Ganesh you don't see, but there is always an axe that is shown in the hand of Ganesh, which means that with spiritual knowledge, we need to cut off the attachment. Axe is a weapon that is used to chop off something. So we all have lot of attachment. So it is a symbol that a wise person will finish all his attachment and replace it with spiritual love based on spiritual knowledge. And on the other hand, he's shown with the rope. Rope or this signifies that we have to bind oneself with the spiritual love between myself and with God, and I have to bind myself with the love, bond of love with all other souls as my brothers. Because once there is love for God and love for everyone, I think all problems are solved. And the third very important thing, as Sister Anu was mentioning in the beginning, Modak Laddu is very much connected with Ganesha. You know, they offer special Modak or Laddu on Ganesh Chaturthi. Ganesh don't eat laddu, but why they offer laddu or modak is because we have to become as sweet, as sweet as modak or laddu, which means we should speak sweetly. Because, this tongue, which is made out of 2 inches, even though the body of a human being is 6 foot, but the tongue, which is of 2 inches, 2.5 inches, can work like a pair of scissors or needle and thread. It can make relationship or it can break relationship. That is why somebody said to me the other day, when God created human body, he put the tongue behind the teeth. Why? Because the teeth, the 32 teeth of a human body is like a bars of the prison. The tongue is a prisoner. So we are told that think before you speak. Because once you have spoken something, you cannot put back. So that is why Lord Ganesha's offering sweet actually teaches us that we must think before we speak. Whatever words that emerge from our mouth must be filled with sweetness. So in Raj Yoga, we practice it in 3 ways. Kam bolo, meetha bolo, or dhire bolo. Means speak less, speak softly, and speak sweetly. Because each word that we speak can lift the person towards the sky or bring the person completely down to the earth. And so Modak is a symbol of sweetness. And the 4th hand is always a hand of blessings. So this hand of blessings represents giving, giving, giving. Devta means what? Dene wali, the one who bestows. So Lord Ganesha always gave blessings. Blessings means word of wisdom to anyone who came to him. That is why on the day of Ganesh Chaturthi, people go to worship Lord Ganesha to seek for blessings, wisdom. Because in the path of bhakti, we always ask God, Asatoma Sadgamaya, lead us from darkness into light. But we did not know what kind of darkness we had. We did not understand ignorance is also a darkness. And so we seek for blessings. And Lord Ganesha, the hand of blessings is the hand of wisdom, the blessings that we receive on the basis of wisdom. And very interesting, the body of Lord Ganesh is so big, but the vehicle that is shown for Lord Ganesha to ride on is a little mouse. So what is the significance of showing mouse as a vehicle to Lord Ganesha? Mouse is a symbol of ignorance. Showing mouse as a vehicle to Lord Ganesha signifies it is conquering ignorance through wisdom. So when you have wisdom, you can conquer ignorance. Just like when there is darkness, you switch on the light, the darkness will automatically disappear. And the mouse habit, it will go and bite everything and it make everything juta. And once anything is bitten by mouse, nobody will touch or eat that. So we should not have a habit like the mouse, you know, biting everything, interfering in everything. And also another, they say another expression that is used for mouse is, you know, sometimes a mouse runs around the grocery, you know, having a little piece of turmeric in its mouth, thinking it is the owner of the grocery. So sometimes it also represents ego. So showing a mouse as a vehicle is conquering ego with humility. So this is something we need to learn as we celebrate Ganesh Chaturthi, that we, no matter how wise we become, how intelligent we become, how knowledgeful, we must always remain humble. Because they say that a wise person realizes, you know, how little he knows. The more he knows, he realizes how little he knows, because the learning attitude always continues. And one interesting thing with all the deities we see is the lotus flower. Either they are holding lotus or they are seated on the lotus. Why they connect all the gods and goddesses with the lotus symbol? Lotus, you know, it grows in the mud, dirty water, but yet the petals of the lotus, even one drop of water doesn't touch. So what lesson we learn from seeing the lotus seat of all the gods and goddesses is to be detached and loving. You have to live in your family life, but at the same time, you should not be affected by what is happening around you. That is what we call it as detached and loving. See, on one side, they say Ganesh was a brahmachari. He was a Kumar, Brahman. But on the other side, they also say that he had two wives. You know, Siddhi, Vidhi and Siddhi. So in fact, it is spiritual. He did not have any wife. He is a brahmachari. So what it means to show Vidhi and Siddhi as his wife, it means we understand now Vidhi means method. Siddhi means accomplishment. So when you have knowledge and wisdom, if you use the right method, right Vidhi, you are guaranteed to have Siddhi. Vidhi says Siddhi. Sankalp says Siddhi. So if the Vidhi method is not correct, you cannot have Siddhi. So wisdom go together. When you have wisdom, when you have knowledge, you have the power to discern, you have the power to discriminate, and what method to use. You use the right method, and then you experience accomplishment. So in that way, they are companions of success, our success in our life. And why do they show swastika as a symbol of Ganesh? What is the connection between swastika and Ganesh image? We always see these two things together. So swastika actually means a symbol that explains to us swasthiti, the stage of the self in the cycle of life, how I was. So if you look at the arrows of the swastika, you will understand very clearly that we started our cycle of life from golden age to silver age to copper age and iron age. And now we are in iron age, and now there is going to be transformation from iron age to again golden age. So the symbol of swastika again makes us into the spinner of cycle of self-realization. So when you are able to understand the cycle of life, and when you are able to remember it, it creates that positive, pure energy that will help you to remove all your impurities and return to your original nature of purity. So that is why swastika is very much connected with Ganesh. It is actually the symbol of swastiti. And also, usually on the day of Lord Ganesh, I remember that we also make sure that we chant the name of Ganesh certain number of times. So when Ganesh is pleased with us, he fulfills all our desires. So that is what we were told. And as children, we used to do that, and our bhavna used to be fulfilled on the basis of that. So keeping all these spiritual significance, a human being can become a deity. If I'm able to purify my sense organs, if I'm able to purify my mind, thought, words, and actions through spiritual knowledge, yoga, meditation, wisdom, the same ordinary human being can become a deity. Deity means a human being with divine qualities. They are also human beings. The only difference is they have divine qualities. So look at each symbol as you now understand its meaning. Now you connect it. So do I have eyes like Ganesh? Are my ears like Ganesh? Are my hands always giving like Ganesh? Do I use the right method before performing any action to get accomplishment? Do I always speak sweet words? Do I ever gossip or listen to the gossip? Is my vision foresighted? So if I'm able to do some kind of self-analysis, Atma Anuveshan, then I am able to have some kind of realization, and I can bring transformation in my life. In fact, to be honest with you, Lord Ganesh is actually the memorial of the children of Lord Shiva. There was not just one Lord Ganesh as a son of Shiva. Shiva, the benefactor, God, the supreme, is the father of all souls. And so he gives us this spiritual life in order to make our life as valuable as diamonds. So let us embody all these spiritual significance in our life and make our life a life free from obstacles. Make our life free from any kind of difficulties, making things easy. So for myself, I just would like to share with you some lessons that we can learn practically by celebrating Ganesh Chaturthi today. Now, why is that people immerse Ganesh image after they have worshipped, they have fed Ganesh with laddus and then put in the water, which actually means I have to create good qualities in my life. I have to sustain the good qualities in my life, and whatever weaknesses, whatever negativities I have to throw into the ocean. I have to immerse into the water so that it mixes with the 5 elements and disappear. So our aim in life should be, man should perform such action that he becomes like Narayan. Woman should perform such action, she becomes like Lakshmi. So which means it is the qualification, it is the qualities in human life that will make you into a deity. So I'm sure we will all take this inspiration from this year's Ganesh Chaturthi to practice the spiritual meaning so that each one of us can transform ourselves. And we know that, when we change, the world changes. So some of the lesson I just summarize that we can take back as a homework or a takeaway from this talk. First is we must always be seekers of knowledge and wisdom. No matter how much you know, always be a seeker. Then you are able to dispel ignorance in the form of darkness with knowledge. Secondly, we should adopt royalty like the elephant, majesty, royalty of the elephant, and farsightedness. Not have a narrow vision, farsightedness, so that before we make decision, we are aware of what is coming up. And third one, we must have the power to accommodate, adjust all kinds of difficulties, circumstances, obstacles that comes into our life, like Lord Ganesha, so that we become the destroyer of obstacles. We are not scared of obstacles, but we are able to guide others to remove their obstacles also. And number 4 is use the right method for any task and you will be guaranteed with success. If at all you are not experiencing success, you must check the method. The method is not right. That is why the success is not seen in my life. And number 5, bind yourself with the thread of love, because love is the cementing force that binds all of us together. So where there is love, everything is possible. So let us have more love and less fear. Fear and love cannot go together. And of course, as I mentioned, lotus flower, always be loving and detached like lotus. And always have the hand of blessing, giving. Never have the desire to take anything from anyone. If you have the desire of taking anything from anyone, you will be disappointed. So be like Lord Ganesha, always having the hand of blessing, always giving, giving, and giving. The one who gives automatically gets. And of course, we also learn this simple lesson, which very often we are told. We should always think good and be good and do good to ourselves. So I just would like to leave these 2 expressions before I conclude. Problem is nothing but reflection of ignorance. Problem is nothing but reflection of ignorance. Solution is nothing but reflection of divine wisdom. So let us be the embodiment of solution by inculcating spiritual wisdom. Like Lord Ganesha, let us invoke wisdom and power so that Sri Ganesha's qualities comes into our life and we become destroyer of obstacles. I hope, as it is the last day of Ganesh Chaturthi, so it is a very good act of kindness towards myself. Let me look deep into myself whatever weaknesses, whatever shortcomings I have, I donate it to Lord Ganesha and seek for his blessing and immerse it in the ocean so that it mix with the 5 elements of matter and disappear. So I can become all virtuous, completely viceless, with all the celestial degrees that is necessary to become a perfect deity. So I hope this significance will help us to remove the darkness in the form of ignorance in our life, and we can all walk together in light so that we can see ourselves, we can connect ourselves with God and receive more light, might, as well as divine insight. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Thank you so much, Meera Didi. Sorry, my connection got interrupted. So if any question which I may not have heard, please apologize for that. It was just 5 minutes, my connection was off in between. So a few interesting questions, a few participants asking. Last time we had Shilu Didi speak on Janmashtami, and she was very particular. And the question is that at Brahma Kumaris, all of you keep saying that Krishna he was in golden age. He was the lord of the Satyug, what we call the golden age. So can you please tell us, when did Ganesh come? In the golden age or any other age?
Lord Ganesha is Brahmachari. We consider him as Brahmin. So it is the memorial of the true Brahmins of the confluence age. So Brahma Kumaris connect Lord Ganesha with confluence age. Two births in one body. Just like Brahmins are called Vija, twice born. So Ganesh had already his one life, but the second life that he got with the elephant trunk is the spiritual birth, which is the spiritual birth of the confluence age in this time. So we connect Lord Ganesha's birth with the confluence age.
Right, great. So Ganesha, I'm sure the answer is he's the confluence age symbol. Another question, yeah, thank you. Another question a brother is asking, that he has quite a few BK friends, Brahma Kumari brothers and sisters, but he says that these BK friends of mine, they don't celebrate any festivals. They just feel that it is not needed. So why don't you all celebrate the 10 days, and why don't you all do the puja and everything? That's what he's asking.
Actually, the purpose of doing puja ritual is just to express our love and respect. So when you understand the spiritual meaning, means I myself was a devotee of Lord Ganesha before coming to Raj Yoga. So I can say from my experience, our whole family was worshipping. We are not against to worshipping Lord Ganesha, but after coming to Raj Yoga, I used to ask my parents always, why do they show elephant trunk? You call that person God. How can God have elephant trunk? They never explained to me. They say, you should not ask these questions now. You are too young. When you grow old, you will get answers. So we were suppressed. We were not given explanation. So when I came to Raj Yoga, I was given logically proper explanation. So I was very convinced that actually it is symbolic. You cannot chop the head of an elephant and put it on someone. If Lord Shiva was God, he could have replaced his own head and put it, right? Ganesh has his own head. He could have put his own head there. Why he has to look for an elephant? And how it happened that at that time the elephant has to pass by. Means these are all tall stories, but which has a spiritual significance. So I understood that it represents wisdom and knowledge. So when I got the wisdom and knowledge that you are a soul, you are not body, you are a child of the supreme soul. So this knowledge awakened my, ignorance dispelled and knowledge came into life. And so I stopped worshipping, but I am making my effort to become like Lord Ganesh. It's even higher than just doing some rituals. When you have love for someone, you don't just do rituals for them, but you try to obey what they say. You try to please them by doing the right thing. So that is what we do now. It's not physically, we are not doing rituals, doesn't mean that we don't have respect and love. Actually, our devotion now is the highest way. We surrender our life for the sake of becoming like God, Lord Ganesh. So the highest stage of devotion is surrender. That is what we practice.
Beautiful, Didi. So, which shows that surrender is more important than just doing blind worship.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you. Another very intriguing question is why are all the important deities shown in the form of animal heads? So, first is we discussed about the elephant head of Ganesha. The second very closely related image is of Hanuman, which is shown as a monkey's face. So why is it this in India that all animals, like what is the significance now of a monkey face in Hanuman?
Actually, animals also have many good qualities. If you ask anyone in Ramayana how Hanuman took birth, it's very interesting. They say somebody sneezed and Hanuman was born. How can somebody take birth through a sneezing? And then secondly, they say he was a devotee of Rama, and he had a monkey face. Why they show the monkey face is because all human beings at the present time, we have face of human being, but our character is like that of a monkey. Why monkey? Because monkey has all vices in the highest degree: lust, greed, anger, attachment, ego. Why do they show in Ramayana that Rama took the army of monkey? Why he did not take the army of cats or dogs? Why he has to take the army of monkey to cross the bridge? Actually, monkey represents the character of human beings full of all vices. And so God comes and transforms such human beings into deities. So showing Hanuman is a devotee of Rama. They say that, there are more devotees for Hanuman than Rama, because Hanuman was faithful to God. So it is not anybody else by name Hanuman exists, but any human being, who is totally dedicated to God, only have God in every nerve, they are called Hanuman. Hanuman is also someone who has unshakable faith. They say Ravan came to shake the feet of Angad, but he couldn't even shake the nail of his feet, which means faith in God. When you have such unshakable faith in God, you are called Hanuman. Hanuman also is the one who makes impossible possible. He was told to bring Sanjeevani Butti, but he couldn't identify. So out of faith, he uprooted the whole of Himalaya mountain and brought on the palm of his hand. Is that possible? What it means is that if you have faith in God, one God, you can make impossible possible. That one is called Hanuman. So we were human beings, but our character was like monkey. So they have depicted our internal face externally as monkey. There is no goddess called monkey goddess, in fact, in reality.
Thank you so much. Beautiful. I was just like carried away. I feel sometimes in future we should have the spiritual significance of Hanuman Jayanti also, and even Ram Navami sometimes. So that all these mythological stories of Ramayana get clear that what is the spiritual significance to it. Yet another very intriguing question is, they show that Lord Ganesha used to stay on the with Shiva and Parvati, rather Shankar and Parvati, we must say. He used to stay on the Kailash Parvat with both the parents. And his friends were shown to be very deformed people, deformed children. Someone was crippled, someone had only one eye. So, what is the significance of he having defective body friends, like friends of defective with defective bodies?
See, when you have wisdom and knowledge, you don't look at the defects or weaknesses of others. You look into the good qualities of each and every one. So then everyone becomes your friends, because I am my friend. So for me, everyone becomes friends. But when my third eye is closed, I become my own enemy. So everybody else seems to be my enemy. So Lord Ganesha is the symbol of wisdom and knowledge. The one with the third eye. So he saw everyone with the third eye of wisdom. So saw the good qualities in others. He did not look at the deformation. And that is why he made everyone into friends. Something I like very much about Lord Ganesh. They say in the story that Lord Ganesh had his brother Kartikeya, Subramaniam. They always show peacock as his vehicle, and Ganesh had mouse as his vehicle. So there was a competition once. They say that, whoever goes around the world 3 times, they will get the blessings. So Kartikeya, Ganesh brother, so he rode on the peacock and he literally start to move around the world 3 times. It will take some time. But Ganesh was very knowledgeable. As we are taught, Matra Devo Bhava, you must consider your mother as God. So what he did, in few seconds, he took 3 circles around the mother and finished, and he won the competition. You see? So Ganesh means not smart. Nowadays, there are many smart people. No, sensible and wise. That is what is called Ganesh.
Thank you, Didi. Another question is about in Diwali, we need wealth. So therefore, we invoke the goddess of wealth, Lakshmi. So what is the necessity of invoking Lord Ganesha as well during Diwali?
No, Ganesh is prominent with everyone, as I mentioned earlier, to get the blessing of any deity, whether it is Saraswati, Lakshmi, anyone, first you have to bow down to Ganesh. So this is the blessing he got from Lord Shiva. When he replaced the head of elephant, Lord Shiva blessed him and said that, you will be worshipped before any other deity. People have to seek for your blessings first before coming to anybody else. So that is why, whether it is Deepavali, whether it is Janmashtami, whether it is any festival, Navratri, first Ganesh, and then others are worshipped. So he got these blessings because he is the Lord of Ganas. And Ganesha, he's the lord of all the Ganas. He's the head of all the deities. So his blessings will automatically make everything successful.
Great. So maybe that's the reason we say for every task in India, Shri Ganesh Karo. Let us do
Yes. First Sri Ganesh.
Shri Ganesh. Yeah.
You have to establish Ganesh and then do the rest. Even Shiva will be pleased afterwards. You can please Bolanath afterwards. First, you have to bow down to Lord Ganesha.
Thank you. There's another question, maybe not in this idol which is kept in front of us. It is shown that Ganesha is seating in the Padmasana pose, but usually Lord Ganesha is shown as seating whereby one foot touches the ground and one foot is above. So what is the significance of that? Yeah.
Actually, this is also detachment and love, because you live in the world and yet you live beyond. You use the 5 elements of matter, but you don't become subservient. You don't make the elements of matter as your support. And that is why, one foot is touching the floor, the other one is above the floor. That means you are detached and loving. You are not dependent. You are not taking the support, but you are just using it as a means for living. That's all. Like nowadays, people make elements of matter so much depend on them, without that they cannot survive. So Lord Ganesha was wise enough to keep the balance of sadhan and sadhana. So there was physical facilities available, but not depending on them. So you use it in a very detached way. It's a symbol of detachment and love.
Okay, so a brother is saying that, thank you, Didi. Now I understand that it is not by worshipping Lord Ganesha I'll have a strong intellect, but I need to do something else. Invoking Ganesha means doing something else. So can you just tell me a few tips? The brother is asking that, how do I strengthen my weak intellect?
See, first of all, as I said, be a seeker of truth, knowledge, and wisdom. If you are a genuine seeker, God will bring you into the company of those souls who will lead you on the path of truth. And so once you are led on the path of truth, you will be able to open your third eye of wisdom. So that is the second step. So it's not like a magic that will open the third eye of wisdom, but because I am a seeker of truth, I was brought into the company of those who practice the truth, and they lead me to help myself to open my third eye, the eye of wisdom, the eye of knowledge, the eye of understanding. Then I begin to see myself first time. Who am I really? Who am I really? You get answers for these 4 questions. Who am I? Whose child am I? Where I have come from? Why am I here? So you will be guided answers for these questions. And then you can begin to see that how your eye of wisdom begin to open up. Then you can see yourself, you can see God, and you can also see where you have come from and where you have to go. And so all these answers you are able to get when you visit one of our Raj Yoga centers, and you take some of the lessons that we teach people free of charge, so that you are enlightened. Your soul is ignited. Now the soul's light is dim. It cannot see itself. So when the oil of knowledge is poured into your life, your light begins to shine. You can see yourself, you can see God, and you can see all others in the real sense.
a very humorous question, very closely related to just what you said right now. Can I become Lord Ganesha by following the Brahma Kumaris?
Yes, why not? What it means to become Lord Ganesha. It is a Lord of wisdom, Lord of success, Lord of good luck. Why not? You can also become destroyer of obstacles. So that is our aim. We want to become destroyer of obstacles. We want to experience success. We want to experience, feeling ourselves being full and always giving. In that context, you can become.
Okay, great. And in interest of time, I'll just take the last question. Lord Ganesha is said to be Siddhi Vinayak, as we are saying that we have many people joining from Mumbai. There's a famous temple and it's very famous. There's a big rush of all the devotees all the time there, particularly in these 10 days. So the brother is asking related to success because he's the Lord of success. So do you want to share some stories of your success, personal success, that how was your journey from Mysore coming to Malaysia?
Oh, it's a long, long story. But in 1 minute, I can say two things. Success is connected with faith. Faith is the foundation of success. Determination is the key to success. So that is my experience. Once I have started the journey, determination, there is no termination. And once I have faith, I never created doubt. So you hold these two things and you will become Siddhi Vinayaka. Faith and determination. Okay?
Yeah, that's great. And just my question in the end, I actually taught here about Riddhi and Siddhi. Riddhi. You mentioned about Vidhi, which is the method. So is there something called Riddhi as well?
Yes, there is the Riddhi occult power. People learn occult power to materialize and dematerialize things. It's no use for us because it is only going to give you temporary materialistic happiness. And we are not after temporary materialistic happiness. We are looking for permanent peace and eternal happiness. And that is only possible with Vidhi and not Riddhi. Occult powers it is called miraculous powers. People learn through certain kind of practices, but it is not a clean practice. And so it is better that we use a clean practice, make effort, no effort, no luck. So you work for it and you will have the happiness of achieving something. So Vidhi and Siddhi is the right method.
Right, fantastic. Quite a few questions coming in Hindi, but sorry, participants, I can't take them anymore. So thank you so much, Didi. And with this, I would now like to invite Dr. Ashok Mehta to propose the vote of thanks. Over to you, Dr. Mehta.
Om Shanti. Meera, it's such a beautiful morning to enjoy your talk, full of wisdom, full of anecdotes. But I think the most important part, which I would like to say a word about, that all that we are listening is not the knowledge of Brahma Kumaris, it's the knowledge of the Supreme Father. It's a God who's directly interacting through a human medium. And therefore, I think whatever we are being told or whatever we listened just now from Meera Ben, it has come directly from him. It is not a human mind or a human intellect which has given these answers. It's a supreme intellect has given these answers. That's how I look at it. I think it's been such a beautiful morning. Listen this on a Ganesh Chaturthi day is all full of wisdom, faith, and everything that we would like to know about life. Thank you very much, Meera. It's such a pleasure to listen to you. And I hope we keep on listening to you continuously. You have answered almost every question in such a succinct way that it really is enjoyable. Om Shanti. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mehta. And Meera Didi, we are not leaving you. Ram Navami and Hanuman Jayanti is still there. I'll just find out the dates when they are there and I'll call you again for that. Fantastic explanation. Okay. And I'll just, before we go in the meditation, next 2 minutes, I'll just quickly share the screen and share what events we have coming up. So as all of us know that we are discussing Ganesh Chaturthi, everything about success. So we were supposed to have this talk with respected Brijmohan Bhai Sahab yesterday, but for he had some other commitments at the same time. So we said he was wanting to do a recorded session, but we said no, we would like to interact with you. And you all are very fortunate that tomorrow we are having it. It will be a 1 hour, 15-minute session, I feel, and he'll be answering all in a question and answer format. It won't be a lecture because he said he wants to interact with the audience. So it will be tomorrow. And please note down that the timings are slightly different. Normally it's 7:30 p.m. on Saturdays, but we are doing it tomorrow 6:30 p.m. And the other Canadian West Coast time is 6 in the morning. So make sure you all can attend it. I know it's a working day tomorrow for all of us, but it's in our work-related atmosphere where we need success. So it's a divine plan to inculcate success during your working schedule. So please make sure you can attend it. And for any other information, in interest of time, I'm not taking the other events. We'll be sending emails out to you. You can visit our website of vihasa.in and the Vancouver Brahmakumaris.ca, and you can email us at the following email addresses. So with this, I'll just stop sharing and over to Didi for the last 10 minutes on meditation. Thank you.
So let us sit relaxed. Try to sit with a straight back so that you feel more relaxed. And you can keep your eyes open or closed as you like. So the aim of this meditation is to reawaken the inner self, the true self, which has been lying dormant for a long period of time. So how can I reawaken? Let me ask this question to myself. Who am I? Who am I really? What answer would I give when I introduce myself to others? I may tell my name, my occupation, my relationship. All these are labels connected with me. But who am I really? When I deeply ponder over this question, I begin to see another layer emerging from deep within me. I have feelings. I have emotions. I even have memories. All these subtle aspects are embodied in a tiny, tiny energy within me, that living energy is located somewhere in the middle of the forehead. Feel that energy, living light, a pulsating energy in the center of my forehead. I, the living energy with mind, intellect, and memories. I, the living light, I exist forever. I am eternal, imperishable, immortal. As I begin to focus my thoughts on this tiny point of light, I journey inwards. I journey deep into myself. I touch the core of this being of light. I discover peace. I am peace. I am a being of peace. Vibrations of peace emanates from deep within and fills my mind. I enjoy these moments, just being at one with myself. Peace and silence. My mind has become like a calm lake. I enjoy this calmness and silence. In this experience, I become very light. I feel myself becoming so weightless in this experience of peace that I can move away from this body and I see myself floating beyond this body, moving upwards beyond this world of cosmos into the dimension of golden grid light. I, the being of light, full of peace. I am in my home, the land of peace. I am in the presence of source of peace, the supreme light. I am connected the supreme light is showering me with waves of peace, with rays of light filled with love and power. I, the soul, I am bathing in the rays of God's light, God's peace and love. Stay in this experience. Enjoy this moment. Being in union with God. Peace. Silence. Calm. I feel I am totally refreshed with this supreme union, totally recharged. God's energy. And slowly I bring my thoughts back from this home of silence back to this world of matter. I see myself in the center of my forehead, radiating God's peace, love and light. I am peace. I am love. I am light. I am light, full of peace and love. Om Shanti. 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 Thank you.
Thank you so much, Didi, once again to spend your time with us. Thank you.
Thank you.